Hi everyone. Hi Christina. My name is Slava and I'm with eTalk. Today we are going to share ideas and information how to enroll to Canadian institutions. And my guest is Christina. Christina from ILAC. It's our
Hi.
beloved partners. We have been working with ILAC for many years, for like 15 years, from the time when we started our agency in Ukraine, and now we are proud to continue our cooperation with ILAC, running eTalk live tutoring platform. All right, let me share my presentation.
While you share, just quickly say hi. Thanks for having me today. It's a
Yeah,
pleasure.
our pleasure. All right, topic of our webinar is fast track to Canadian colleges and universities through ILAC preparation, and how eTalk can enhance your learning capacity. So how you can use also one-on-one classes and benefit from that. I would like to introduce eTalk because we are pretty new in the market. We have started like one pandemic, uh, COVID happened. It's like 3 years ago, but we started working with international students just for the last year. We brought the product to the market. Okay. So eTalk, it's an online tutoring platform. We connect tutors worldwide with students. Well, our subject that we focus on general English, academic English, and also like we help with IELTS, TOEFL, or different language exams. It also could be different languages like French or Spanish, especially if you're going to Canada, you might need training of French language. Format, it's one-on-one, it's individual, so it means like 100% attention to students. Also, we have a wide range of different tutors worldwide. Literally, they're from all continents, all time zones can be covered. Doesn't matter if you're from Latin America or from Europe or from Asia. We can get you covered. We can help you to find the best tutor that you can possibly have. We have like basic online features that you need for the best online experience. It's very flexible to book classes, cancel them, reschedule. We have all necessary features on the platform. Inside, it looks like everything very convenient. You can just imagine how Zoom looks like, and also whiteboard, digital materials, everything easy to understand, even like for if it's your first experience learning online. Just briefly, our features, how we stand out from our competitors. So we have like student-centric classes. Everything connects to the students. We brief you. We can find necessary materials. We can create materials just specifically dedicated for you. Usually, it takes just two days, 84 hours to match a student with a tutor. As I said recently, we are available 24/7. We provide free teacher replacement, so it doesn't matter if you don't like your teacher or you think that you need to switch from near-native teacher to native tutor, or you don't, or our tutor kind of didn't show up for classes. Just let us know, share your feedbacks, and we'll fix it. How to start? Very easy. Just send a request. Give us a couple days. We'll match you with a tutor. Let us as much information as you can, like your availability, how many classes per week you need, what's your goal, and so on. So if you are talking about like ILAC preparation, if you know when you need to start your program, if you want to start before a program, or you need a tutor to support your learning during course. So just we need all these details, and also we need either your ILAC placement test, or we can help you with like language assessment. Then we just need to settle the tutoring plan. You will know your fees. You pay that and you're ready to go. On the platform, like we have different additional features. As I said, like very easy to book classes, reschedule, everything's secured. We accept almost any type of payments. And one more slide, and then we switch, and Christina will start the presentation itself. So when you can use eTalk, let's say you decided you want to go to Canada, you pick ILAC like language provider, you decided you're gonna do it online with ILAC Kids, or physically in person in Canada. They have lovely campuses in Toronto or Vancouver. You know your dates. You have like 3-6 months in hand, and you don't want to waste the time. So it's a good idea to pick a tutor and prepare before you're traveling to Canada. So it doesn't matter what's your current level, from 0 or like level 9. We can get you covered. You can get the best tutor that you can afford, and take as many classes as you want. So like golden standard, at least 3 classes per week, but it can be more intense, 5 or 10. Then once you already start taking intense classes, group classes with ILAC for university pathway, you can also still take classes with each tutor. And right now we have a few good cases when our tutors step up, like, and help students to go according to the academic ILAC program. So we do not 100% guarantee, but we increase your chances that if you're a student, and every 2 weeks, as you may know, ILAC has tests, so they should make sure that you go according to the academic program. And if you fail a test, you have either downgrade your level or retake the level. So if you have a tutor, you just increase chances that everything goes according to the plan, and you will not waste your time. Also, during summer breaks, it's a great idea to have like adaptation course. If you already know that you're gonna take academic semester from coming September, and you have free couple of months during the summer, and you don't know what to do, it's a great idea to find a tutor, so you can use eTalk. And the last, what we do right now, we provide academic tutoring support. So what it means, you might be struggling with academic classes. You can ask Christina. She has her own experience studying in Canada. And first year studying in Canada might be very complicated, a lot of stress. And if you feel that you need a help, like mentor, tutor, some more experienced person, you can also have a tutor who can help you with, to achieve your first year academic goals. So far, so good, Christina?
Okay, I'm back. Hello, hello. Thank you for such detailed explanation. I think it was an amazing introduction. What I'll
My
do
pleasure.
now, and now I'm gonna try to share my screen. I try to be tech savvy, but 50-50 depending on the day. Today seems to be a good day. So here I am with my presentation. You can see it, right? All good?
Yeah, all good, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So one more time, hi everyone. My name is Christina, and I'm an official representative of ILAC Education Group. And I hope you're gonna find today's information productive, because we're going to be talking about a few things, starting with first is what's ILAC Education Group, just so you know the divisions, programs, and all of the schools that we have under the brand ILAC Education Group. Then we quickly will talk about why choose Canada, because it's not a secret. A lot of people out there yearly are wondering which location to choose, what are the advantages, what opportunities does Canada, for example, offer. So we're gonna cover those bases as well, and then we'll move on to ILAC courses that are in person, online, and program that my colleague already mentioned, Pathway Program. So that's going to be our overview for today. And if I may, I will start with what's ILAC Education Group. So some of you may already know us as International Language Academy of Canada, or ILAC. And yes, that's true. We've started about 26 years ago as ILAC. Language Academy of Canada with campuses in Toronto and Vancouver. And we still have this beautiful school, 5 campuses in Toronto, 5 campuses in Vancouver. We host about 20,000 students yearly on campus from 90 different countries. So it's an amazing experience for international students to come here, learn English during summer, enjoy some activities, visit our partner schools, or this is a year-round school, so you can come any Monday and you can study not just the general English programs, but also more academically inclined programs as well. So that's how we started. And during pandemic, we grew quite a lot. And as you can see on the screen, there's a lot of logos, and each logo represents a different division. And they exist to provide lots of opportunities to our international students. So to quickly recap, of course, first is we have our language education, so ILAC, Language Academy of Canada, in person, beautiful language school, as I mentioned. We also win lots of awards every year for not only our academic excellence, but also for customer service, because we truly care about our students. Then we have ILAC KISS. For those of you who prefer to study from the comfort of your own home, you don't want to travel right away, maybe you want to start online, finish in Canada, or you want to complete your whole program online. Now you can do it with our virtual school, ILAC KISS. And KISS is really cute because it stands for Keeping It Simple and Smart. So that's the brand for our virtual school. And here you can enjoy English classes live through the similar platform that we're using now, which is Zoom. And our teachers that are based here in Canada, in Toronto and Vancouver, are teaching international students. And so far, we have about 6,000 students studying with us online, which is a pretty good, pretty high head count, as you may know, and this may make us one of the biggest online language schools in Canada for sure, and hopefully in the world. Then, of course, we have language camps. We have summer and winter programs for more, here I am. I forgot an English word. See, maybe I should join ILAC KISS as well. For older students from if you're 15 to 17, you can come to our summer and winter program in Canada at ILAC. That's English plus activities. And if you're a younger student from 7 to 17, you can join our camps through Tumwood, which is also an amazing experience for the summer. Then we are an official IELTS test center. We have 15 locations across Canada. So once you're here with us in Canada, you can take IELTS, TOEFL, and some other tests here for academic or immigration purposes. And then, of course, we have student housing. Since we have so many students coming to us every year, they stay with us either at homestay residence, private apartments, and other accommodation types. We offer quite a big variety of options for our students here in Toronto, as well as in Vancouver. Then we have Career College. Okay, Career College is a private college. Now we have Career College, ILAC IC, or ILAC International College, and we have Tumwood Careers. And Career College, advantage of a career college is you can get Canadian diploma, you can get Canadian work experience through a co-op program. Program duration varies from 26 weeks to like 2 years. You can get just the educational part, or you can do your classes plus co-op. And most of the students, of course, usually tend to choose program with a co-op because they gain Canadian work experience. And the price of a private college is less than the price of a public college. So it's a great option for students that are looking to, improve their business English, study here, get, again, Canadian credentials and gain work experience. Since we're talking about advantages and disadvantages, for some it may be a bit an advantage, but just to mention it, private college, as you may know, doesn't give you an opportunity to apply for postgraduate work permit. Only public colleges in Canada give you that opportunity. Right, so after private college, what you could do is you could transfer your credits from a private institution to a public institution partner, and then graduate public institution and get PHWP that way, if indeed your plan is not just to get that experience and go back home, but to build your future in Canada and continue your studies. Then we have, I see Slava is appearing on the screen again.
I just want to add, so that's amazing, like which past like ILAC did for the last couple decades. I remember like for the first time when I met ILAC representative I believe in 2009, like almost 15 years ago. So, and I remember the announcement that ILAC acquired one of the Vancouver school, and here we go, so many brands under ILAC umbrella. Yeah, it's just amazing. Yeah, sorry for interrupting you.
No, thank you so much. I think it's definitely a pride point for us. We've always tried to grow and enhance the opportunities that we can offer to our students. And it's actually very nice because, for example, I was an ILAC student myself, and I went through ILAC, then I went through pathway program, moved to an institution partner, and our students can do that progression within the ILAC education family. So it's a really nice experience for our students as well. And once you're here, what you will find out is that ILAC built already a sense of community. Like, for example, what I mean is that, let's say I was a student at ILAC, I studied with some friends of mine that I met at ILAC. And then when I went to university, a few people that I saw there were already part of ILAC. So I didn't have to be worried, oh, like how fast am I going to make friends? I already knew these people from ILAC. And then once I graduated and I worked, there were some people from ILAC that I worked with, and I'm working at ILAC. So, and I think it's true for a lot of international students that come here, they will see ILAC graduates as they go through life, and it's a really big community here, whether it's Toronto or Vancouver. So yeah, so that's private college. And then another division is ILAC higher education. So here we're talking about three things really. First is pathway program. I will talk in detail about this later, but just to give you a little understanding of what it is, Pathway Program is a program specifically built for international students so they can acquire skills that are required for Canadian higher education. So it's a really in-depth knowledge on academic English and skills that are required so you can be successful in your future studies, whether it's post-secondary or postgraduate. Okay, and on top of that, a huge advantage to our students is that once you complete pathway program, you can get accepted to any of our partner institutions. And there are over 100 partner institutions across Canada, colleges and universities. So you can get accepted to those without taking IELTS or TOEFL tests, which is a really amazing opportunity because, for example, you're right now in your home country, you can take pathway program online, complete it, and while you study, you can already get your conditional letter of acceptance, you finish pathway, and you go to your university or college of choosing. And there's a lot of schools that we work with, so we can really help you to choose the program and the school as well. Okay, so that's pathway program. We'll talk about it in more depth later, but that's the first part of higher education. Then we have two institutions, public-private partnerships, Georgian at ILAC and Fensha Toronto. Both colleges are public colleges here in Ontario, and because they partnered with ILAC, now they have a new campus for international students downtown Toronto. So you can study at these institutions and choose selected programs at Georgian or Fensha, right downtown Toronto. And we did that because there's no secret. Toronto is a huge city in Canada. It's the biggest city in Canada. If I'm not mistaken, fourth biggest in North America. There's lots of opportunities in any field, but especially in business, IT, hospitality, healthcare, and that's the programs that we're offering on in these two institutions. So we specifically chose Toronto so we can provide those opportunities to our students. Okay, so that's higher education. Then there's wellness. Of course, we provide support to our students when it comes to mental or physical health. Then there is CPF for our partners, and then there is a career development forum or Canada Employment Forum for our students. And if you're coming to a career college, or if you're coming to our public institutions, Georgian at ILAC or Fensha Toronto, you automatically get access to Canada Employment Forum. And that platform specifically exists so we can provide you with first needed skills for future employment in Canada, like resume building, properly presenting yourself, interview skills, all the necessary skills to be really job ready. And on top of that, you can there's a variety of opportunities for employment for part-time while you study, and then full-time once you graduate. So to summarize, we created this part to help our students be job ready and to ease their employment progression to the labor market. So to sum this up, there's a lot of things, and you may be wondering, okay, this is a lot, maybe too much, hopefully not, but the thought could appear. But to be fair, we're not going to be covering all those units today. Today, our main focus is pathway and language programs. And then hopefully in the next while, we're going to have something similar about other divisions. So once you watch this, if you have any questions, please feel free to address them. That's how we're going to know that you're interested in other units and other divisions, and we're going to do something special for that as well. Okay, so moving on, ILAC, of course, I mentioned most awarded, and this definitely seems like something we're really proud of that. We're really proud that we're getting awards because it signifies that we're really doing a good job academically for our students. Our students are happy, our partners are satisfied with what we're doing. But for us, of course, it's also, we definitely also get this award for the customer service that we're providing. And as I mentioned, I was an international student myself. I was studying at ILAC before, and a lot of people that work at ILAC were international students at some point as well. So we understand what international students are going through, and that's how we can provide that extra layer of customer service to our students. So of course, our students are in the center of all we do, and that's why it's amazing to see that we're getting rewarded for our efforts. And of course, it's nice for the students to know that they're studying in one of the most awarded language schools in the world. Beautiful spaces. I think this is definitely something that I have to mention, because first thing first, these pictures, it's not like we took them from a corner, one space, so this is the only place that looks nice. I promise you, all of our 10 campuses are beautiful. They're right downtown Toronto and Vancouver. This is how they look. It's amazing, bright, modern, like boutique style space, very bright, very nice to study at. But on top of that, what I really want to mention real quick is that when I was a student, for me and my friends, ILAC was, yes, the place where we study, but also there's a lot of places where the social activities take place. And it's downtown. So once, you finished your class, you go have an activity with your friends, then you come back to ILAC, you sit there for a little bit, then you go somewhere else. So ILAC kind of becomes a home for you, a home away from home. And that's why it's really important for us to make sure that our facilities are top notch, because our students are using them a lot. And so now when I go through the halls and I see the class and the students, I always have a bit of a nostalgia about my days at ILAC like 15 years ago. And if you're in Toronto, Vancouver, we can definitely organize a campus tour, so please let us know. And now the big drum, the most important question of all time, why Canada? Okay, we are really interested in studying abroad. Which country should we choose? Canada? Why Canada? Great question, and I get it a lot. And I always say that be careful when you're choosing a country for your studies, because choosing a country, it's like choosing a partner for life, Lots of options, easy to make a mistake. So you really have to be careful when you're choosing, because it could be for life. But here I'm going to present you with 4 kind of main points that I considered and my parents considered when we chose Canada. And I think it's still true for a lot of international students. Okay, and please keep in mind that I'm putting these points not only as a representative of an education group, but also as an ex-student myself. Okay, so first is the quality of education. Here, lots of points, but to keep it short and nice, first, once you graduate a Canadian institution, the credentials are widely accepted. So you can find employment not only in Canada, but in a lot of places in the world. So you can stay in Canada, or you can use these credentials in your home country or in another place abroad. On top of that, what I think is one of the main advantages of Canada is that Canada is one of few countries that are offering education that's not just theory-based, but there is a big focus on practical knowledge as well. And you may know if you ask people from a lot of countries, if they studied in field A, whether they progressed in the labor market in the same field or they switched. And unfortunately, in a lot of countries, the statistics is that the students study something else and then they work in completely different field. In Canada, the percentage is way less for that to happen. So majority of the students, they study in one field and then they work in that field. And that also signifies that, Canadian higher education system and labor market, they understand each other and they work together to make sure that when the student goes to study, they will get really practical and theoretical knowledge so they can actually progress into their own field once they're ready to start their career journey. And here also, I think another main point is that Canadian education system offers lots of opportunities through the system that they have. I'll mention it a bit later, but you can really choose if you want to go like all the way to university and do like, theory focus, more broad subject matters, fields, and focus on theory and academia. You can do that option for sure. If you want to choose college and have theory plus practice, and a lot of colleges also offer co-op or like work experience that's engraved in your program, you can definitely do that. And co-ops are amazing because during co-op, you can actually get practical knowledge in your field. And once you graduate, your resume is not empty, you already have Canadian work experience. And there's a lot of things that I could really talk about here, but let's save it for a little bit later on in presentation. But to sum this up, first thing first is the quality of education. Second thing is affordable education. And here sometimes students tell me, Christina, are you sure it's affordable? Are you sure this is the right slide for Canada? And I say, okay, depending on which countries you're comparing. If you're comparing English-speaking countries that provide top quality education like Canada, States, Australia, UK, then you can look up the statistics. If you compare the four, generally, international students spends way less in Canada on education and accommodation. So if you compare Canada to countries like that, then definitely Canada is affordable option. On top of that, all prices that relative to ILAC and are the brands that you saw earlier on, they're all in Canadian dollars. And generally, if you compare Canadian currency to local currency of your home country, it would be a more beneficial relation than you would compare it to like American dollar, pound, etc. So the currency helps a lot too. Then opportunity to succeed. Okay, here we can talk about labor market, good economy, yada, 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 but I really want to mention one thing that I think is very important. As an international student, when you go, and we all look at price of, colleges and universities, just education opportunities as an investment when you talk about education abroad, right? So you want to make sure if you're investing in your future, in your education, you want to learn and invest in the country that's welcoming international students. And I think, and this was the case with me when I came to Canada 15 years ago, and it's the same case now. So for a long, long time, Canada has and is treating international students with respect, and they're giving them opportunity to succeed once they graduate the public institution in Canada. And what this means that if you enrolled and once you graduate Canadian college or university, you're eligible to apply for postgraduate work permit or PHWP. And depending on how long you study, you can get it for like from 1 to 3 years. But once you graduate, you can stay in Canada and you can, join the labor market, you can build your career. And then if you like Canada, like I did, you can look into immigration opportunities that are available at the time. But this is really amazing about Canada that it's not like you study and then you have to leave back home. You study and you can actually apply your knowledge here, and then you can build your future in Canada. And another amazing thing about Canada is that once you graduate, you don't have to have a job lined up right away to apply for a postgraduate work permit. Once you graduate, you're already eligible to apply. So you can apply, you can start work right away, or you can take a bit of a break. That is up to you, but I think it's also an amazing opportunity. And of course, safe and friendly environment. Here, I can maybe start talking about Canadians. Canadians are amazing. They're so welcoming and so friendly. And there is a lot of, I think, ongoing jokes about how Canadians are very polite. And it's not an exaggeration. It is very true. And once you hear, you'll find out that a lot of Canadians don't lock their doors, whether it's car, apartment, or whatever, because they're very trustworthy and they trust other people as well. So it's a great community to be in. But on top of that, something to mention is that Canada is second biggest country in the world. And I would say that right now we have about 40 million population. So it's not that big, but from that 40 million, about 28% are immigrants. So people that are holding either study permit or work permit. So that's a huge population out of whole population of Canada, right? So you can already see that it's a very diverse country. But also on top of that, there's most of Canadians are immigrants, maybe like first generation, like maybe second, so their parents immigrated, or third, their grandparents immigrated. So everybody came to Canada at some point from a corner of the world. So everybody is mixed. It's like a world in one country in terms of representation and diversity. So I think it's a really amazing opportunity and a place to explore diversity and welcomeness and cultural, cultural diversity. So there's a very diverse population. I'm sorry for abusing the word diversity, but I'm really happy to be in a place like that everybody is welcomed and there's representation almost of every country, nationality of the world. And of course, beautiful nature, beautiful people, great places, for career development, good economy, again, great social support from the government. So it's in general, it's a great place not only to study but also to build your future at. And now moving on to something a little bit more serious. So Canadian education system. This table usually overwhelms a lot of people, but I'll try to keep it simple. So why am I showing this to you? Because first question that I get is, Christina, if we graduated high school in our home country, do we need to study an additional 12th grade here in Canada? So in order for you to apply to Canadian higher education institutions, and I'm talking about colleges and universities, you need to complete your high school back home. So it's not necessary for you to complete the 12th grade here in Canada. But what I would say is that there's definitely that extra step that international students should take to be prepared for higher education in Canada. And I'll talk about that later. But so yes, once you graduate your high school, you can go to higher education in Canada. That's colleges and universities. If you graduated bachelor's back home, you can go to postgraduate studies. So that's available on college level, or you can go to master's, and that's your standard regular master's that we all used to. Okay, so now, so if you graduate high school, you go to college, you can choose a program that's 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years. So 2 and 3 years is usually diplomas, 4 years is bachelor. In university, you can study for 3 or 4 years, that's bachelor. Okay, and then postgraduate could be 1 or 2 years, master's can be 1 or 2 years. Remember back a few slides ago, I mentioned that Canadian education system is giving a lot of opportunities. So that's what I mentioned, right? So if, let's say, you're someone who is focused on research and academia and wants to go get master's degree, or maybe you want to be a doctor, professor in the future, then definitely university stream is for you. If you're looking to get that practical knowledge and be job ready, then I would say college is a great opportunity. Something to note is that you can also get bachelor's degree on a college level. The difference between the two is maybe that bachelor's on college level would have a bit more practical component and be a little bit cheaper. And something else to note is that some students, some programs are available on college level only. Some programs are available on university level only. So when you're choosing an institution for yourself, I would suggest starting with who you want to be, where you want to work, what's your long-term plan. And that's how you choose program and institution, rather than just saying bluntly, I want to go to college or I want to go to university. Because it's better if we work backwards from your main goal and then we can develop a study plan. Another quick thing that I'll mention is that going back to the opportunities that Canadian education system gives. For example, you graduated high school, right? And you want to go into IT field. And perhaps you think that right now, 2 years or 3 years is enough for you. You don't want to study 4 years and get bachelor. You want to get, specialized knowledge in, for example, computer programming. You can go to college, you can study for 2-3 years. Then you apply for a PGWP, you start working. If you like Canada, maybe you applied for your permanent residency. And then in the future, you decide, I need another layer of education. So at that point, you can go to postgraduate studies, or you could go back to college if the college and programs allow, and you can do a credit transfer to university, to bachelor program. You can complete another 2 or 3 years, and you can get bachelor's that way. Advantage of that is that once you're PR, you're qualified as domestic student and you'll pay less for your education. So you can actually also structure your study plan that way. So it also works for a lot of students that maybe not sure who they want to be yet and what their long-term plan. They start with the program, and then once they work, they understand the labor market, then they add to their credentials. So that's also possible. I hope that was not overwhelming, but beautifully, you always have my colleague, Vyacheslav, who is available for follow-up questions and who can explain you these differences, and who can also help you to build a proper study plan depending on what you want to do in the future.
Yeah, we'll share all our details, and if you have any questions after the webinar, so you're always welcome. It doesn't matter if it's question related to help you with your educational journey plan, or questions to language assessment and help you to achieve the necessary level through one-on-one classes. Yeah, we're always welcome. We'll be always here. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, let's move
Teamwork.
on. Yeah.
Okay, next step. Since I know I have tendency of staying too long on one slide, I'll try to move a bit faster. University Pathway Program. So that's the main point of our presentation today. University Pathway, disclaimer, I was a student at this program as well. So this program, again, is specifically designed for international students of all backgrounds, all levels, ambitious students that are looking to progress to higher education institutions in Canada. Okay, benefits of this program to international students: first, acceptance without IELTS and TOEFL to any institution partner, and there's over 100 institution partners. So again, you don't need to write IELTS and TOEFL to get acceptance. You can complete that program and go study at your university or college. People ask me sometimes why. They're like, why does this happen? Why no IELTS and TOEFL? And simple answer is that all of our university and college partner trust us and trust in our ability to prepare an international student, that they waive that requirement for our students, and they accept our pathway program as a proof of English proficiency. Okay, so that's the first advantage. Second advantage is that I think this program serves very nice, really well, our international students as a step before higher education to adapt to Canada and to higher education in Canada. Because this program really helps you to develop your academic English skills. Because a lot of students think if they did IELTS 6.0 and 6.5, it's good enough to study. While this could be the true, because a lot of colleges accept IELTS 6.0, 6.5, you can start your education journey. On another hand, if you compare IELTS 6.0 or 6.5 with a native speaker, with a Canadian who lived here, who from birth was speaking English, who had 12 grades here in high school, who already studied their subjects in grade 10 and 11 that are required, that they will be studying in higher ed. They're already prepared. They already know how to do research paper, how to do a presentation, what's a case study, how to take in that information. And because when they go to college, some information that they will study is already similar to what they've studied in high school. First semester for them would be more of like an easy road. They'll just kind of be slowly starting their academic journey, and they just kind of taking in the adulthood. That's the first step for them as adults. For our students with IELTS 6.0, they'll start Canadian college or university, and they'll get 5 or 6 different subjects, like courses. They'll have this big of books, very heavy academically inclined. They'll need to show, different projects and research papers every 2 weeks. And that's a lot to take, especially if you just travel to Canada and everything is new. So statistics shows that students that take our university pathway program before they go to higher education, they have higher GPA than students that took IELTS or TOEFL. Okay, and so this is why this program is really helpful, because yes, it's academic English, but also we will teach you skills that are necessary for Canadian higher education. And I'll talk about the skills in a bit. So it's really a great program for the student to be ready and to, to make sure that they feel well in Canada once they arrive, and then they go to higher ed, at least closer level to Canadian students. And the professors in universities and college, they don't differentiate who's international, who's domestic. They treat everybody the same. So it's really your responsibility to make sure that you're ready emotionally, mentally and academically to start your higher education journey. Now, in terms of duration, I always get asked, how long do I need to study? So this question, the answer to this question really varies because it depends on you. What do I mean by that? It means that the length of the program is different per student because every student has different entrance English level. So in order for us to understand how long do you need to study in this program, you need to take our online test. Again, you can reach out to my colleague to request a test. Once you complete this test, we will know what's your starting level on the scale, and then we'll be able to estimate your duration, your program duration. For example, if you land here on level 14, this is what my score was back in the day. Here you only need 8 weeks to complete this program. And the less of the level you have, the more time you need to add to study. So that's first. Second question that I get asked is, Christina, what if my language right now is almost like very basic? I only know a few words, how to say hello, and that's it. No problem. You can start with us at intro level. We have students studying with us at all levels year-round. So there are always groups available. So you can start with us here. But the thing is that from here to level 10, you will study at general English course. And this is great for you because we don't need to push all the academic knowledge like on you now. During general English course, you will learn vocabulary, reading, listening, speaking skills, writing skills. And you'll progress slowly to level 10. And once you have that base, then you progress into academic pathway course. So to answer your question, or my imaginary question is, you can start with us if you have any level, and you can start any Monday. And again, depending on duration you need, will help you to build a study plan. Because this program, as I mentioned, you can study online, offline, so in Canada, or you can break it down. You can do 50-50, you can do majority online, a little bit in Canada, or vice versa. And also, we're going to help you to kind of build a study plan depending on the school you want to go to and the intake that the school has. Because as you may know, Canadian colleges and universities accept students not only for September, but also January and sometimes May. So we can really make it work together.
Yeah, Christina, if you don't mind, I will add. So you have a great explaining levels, and if any students know their own current level, and let's say it's just level 4 or 5 after a placement test. So the great idea, you also can start taking classes one-on-one using our tutors platform, especially if you plan to do it in person in Canada, and you can accelerate your levels, succeed doing it online, because when you're taking lower levels, it's easier to succeed through one-on-one individual classes. But on the higher levels, like advanced level or pre-advanced, usually what we do recommend is take group classes in person, and if you still need personal attention, just use tutors like supplementary individual classes, because it's very hard to succeed academically through just one-on-one, because it's so many vocabulary, a lot of grammar, and so on, so on, so on. But on the lower level, especially if you're a 0 or a beginner or level 1, 2, 3, you can succeed, and it might take much less time through one-on-one. So my suggestion, on the lower level, take tutors and accelerate your study path. And on the intermediate level, on 11, 8, 9, 10, it's a great idea to join group classes, especially if you can afford it and do it in person in Canada. And if you still struggle, you're welcome to take one-on-one classes with eTalk. Sorry for interrupting again. Yeah.
No, I think it's a great point that, of course, different students have different learning needs and learning capabilities. So it's great that we have both options, right? We offer group lessons, or you can take one-on-one lessons, you can do the combination. And yes, the idea of having an additional support at the lower levels could be very beneficial for you to go through the levels faster and with more ease. And something that I'll mention real quickly is that every level is about 4 weeks, and once in 2 weeks you write a quick test to make sure that we see how you progress. But also something to keep in mind is that the reason why there's 2 tests, if you don't do that well on the first, you can always do your best on the second test. And if you do, you score needed points, you slowly progress into the higher level. If you excelled and did more than what was required, you can also jump a level. And I think this is really amazing because it proves that, our levels and our system works for the student, for the benefit of the student. Because if you study really well, why do you need to repeat a level, for example, right? You can just move on. And another quick note is that during our courses, whether it's Pathway, General English, IELTS, etc., we don't only take tests into account. We look at your participation, attendance, classwork, homework. So everything we keep a record of, and all those marks will help you to progress faster. And that's actually interesting enough. That's how higher education in Canada work as well. They don't only look at your tests. They look at your participation, your essays, your quizzes, your case studies. So everything really, and that combines your final mark. So that's how you can also kind of mentally prepare for the grading system in Canada as well. Now, what will you learn? Remember, I mentioned those specific skills. So it's essay writing, presentation skills, how to do research, how to write a research paper, how to cite in MLA, APA, Chicago formats. We teach you exam writing techniques, time management, because the way the college university here works a bit different. So we kind of help you understand that as well. Very important for Canadian higher education is critical thinking. So we help students to develop that and reflect that into their writing. Written and spoken English, and of course there's a big component of IELTS because during Pathway program you take IELTS test bi-weekly. And beautiful points about the University Pathway program I mentioned, but just to make sure we're on the same page. So again, acceptance to 100 partner colleges and universities without IELTS and TOEFL. And also we help you combinedly with our partner to find the best program and the best school for you, because there's a lot of options. As I mentioned, there's 102 institutions and there's over 6,000 different programs. So we can really help you to choose the best one for you. And I know I mentioned briefly the difference between college and university, so I'm not going to stay here for long, but in short, the difference between college and university. Universities are a bit more expensive, so I would say they start at 23,000 Canadian dollars per year and go up. Colleges could start at 15 and go up. University focuses mostly on traditional education, more theory, more academia, general areas of study. Colleges have theory plus practice, a hands-on approach, specialized education, and you can see those work experiences like co-op or internships on college level more often than on university. And when I'm talking about general areas of study, for example, in university, you can study computer science or information technology. On college level, you can really choose your specialization. Hopefully that's the word, like programming, web development, computer system technician, game design. So you can really choose your niche, which also going to be helping you in the future to know what your career goal is and to blend that faster. But universities have advantages too, like, for example, you can do a joint major between business and IT, for example. So you can really, there's lots of options, and it's hard to explain them in maybe 20-minute webinar. So definitely reach out to us for more questions and to help with your individual study plan. Lots of university colleges partner. You can always check it out on our website. We update them quite often. I wouldn't say daily, but very often, so you can check which institutions we work with. And if you need like a targeted specific like layout for yourself of schools that may interest you, please reach out to our partners to get that. Now, next step in terms of ILAC, right? Language school, we spoke about Pathway, which is great. Now, what else do we do? And of course, we do offer language classes, English language classes, different programs. So we accept adult students from 19 and over, and young adult students from 15 to 18. You can start with us any Monday, so year-round program, winter, summer, spring, fall, anytime. And the reason why I kind of put the line in between is because the programs are the same, the study materials are the same, but the approach is a bit different. So, and students study differently. Young adults study with young adults, adults study with adults. And we also divide our students by level, as you've noticed. And we also place them in different buildings. For example, if you're a pathway student, you're going to study only with pathway students. If you're a younger student, you have your own schedule and you study with younger students. And we also divide them by the English level. So as you can imagine, that's a lot of operation on our end, but it's also a great experience for our students because they always feel like they're around, I wouldn't say same people, but people in similar circumstances, which also creates a sense of unity and community, and it's easier to make friends. And through friendships and socialization, you can also improve your English level. And I know I talk a lot again, so program choices. So you can choose General English, Cambridge English, which is more academic version of General English. Then there's preparation for IELTS, preparation for CELPIP, Business English, University Pathway. And for our junior learners, there's summer and winter programs or winter camps. And this is a beautiful layout of all the levels and all the programs that you can choose. And as you can tell, again, main point, there's 17 levels. So you're placed exactly in the right level and you study with students that have the same level as you. And you can choose, if you're level 1 to 10, you study in General English, and then you can differentiate into different program choice, which is very nice and easy for your study plan. Also, I mentioned that, if right now, for example, you don't have a visa and you want to study at ILAC with Canadian teachers, and you want to save a little bit of cost before coming to Canada, ILAC is an amazing option because you get same progression, same courses, everything is same teachers, just through the comfort of your home, through Zoom. It's amazing, and you can also choose one of 4 slots that are available. So for example, if you want to study morning Toronto time, you can choose slot 1, it's 8:30 in the morning. You can choose a bit later in the day, and then you can also check out our progression. We break it down per region, so you can see or you can check it yourself and see what time would it be for you if it's 8:30 in the morning, here in Canada, and you can choose the best slot for you. So there's lots of options available. I don't know why I'm making it more complicated than it is, but great options, and it's 20 lessons a week. So as you noticed, it's a bit less intensity as in person, because in person you can study from 30 to 38 lessons a week, but you can still keep the same progression and through the levels. In terms of housing, for those students who are looking to come to Canada and stay with us in Toronto and Vancouver, we offer homestay, room stay, a lot of residences, and private apartments. So it depends on what's your preferences, what's your age, and whether you're coming alone or with a family. So we can really accommodate a lot of different requests. And lots of different options are, of course, available. And you can check them online on our website as well to see what options do we offer. And last but not least, as I mentioned, we are definitely a community here. So you can check us out on different social media platforms like Instagram and YouTube, and you can see a lot of videos. You may see me in one of those videos, just fair warning, be kind. And yes, we do provide a lot of social activities yearly to our students, and you can join whether you're adult or young adult. It's very nice for you not to only experience Canada, but also to make global connections and hopefully some friends as well. And yeah, thank Canada, thank ILAC. Thanks for watching us today. It's been a huge pleasure, and I hope to see you soon in Canada or virtually through ILAC KISS with us.
Right, Christina, thanks for sharing so much information. I know ILAC can offer much more, so I think we should do like a series of different webinars, maybe a couple more webinars that dedicated specifically for career college opportunities, or like about the ILAC school that offer general English courses, or just summer options for like summer camps for teenagers, for kids. And I know like you just acquired Townwas, so you offer much more. So I believe we can do a couple more webinars in the future. Unfortunately, we are not able to answer questions. We do the record. But if you have any questions, please just send any question to our email, request a one-on-one consultation, and we can help you to find the best way how to join ILAC courses, how one-on-one tutoring from eTalk can help you. And Christina, thank you again for joining our webinar.
It's a
And
pleasure.
guys, yeah, talk to you later. See you soon. Bye.
See you. Bye.